Coach My Love is for those couples who we consider self-functioning.
We also cater to singles and divorcees.
We like to focus on what you're going through today and creating steps with you to help you move toward tomorrow.
You're going to have some conflict that's unavoidable, but how you resolve the conflict is the difference.
It's not just about today. It's growing with you, with the issues of today's society, and it's personalized. We just don't put you in a one-size-fits-all situation.
And we have the tools that we're not only teaching you, but we have personally used within our own marriage and have proven to be effective. The passion is real, the dedication is there, and we just really want to help you.
All right, people. Good day. It is Tuesday, and we are excited to come to you with another Coach My Love. What are we going to call this? Exclusive or just break some things down?
Break some things down.
All right. We're going to break some things down. You guys are listening. First of all, I want you guys to please share, like, and subscribe to our video. Remember, we love your feedback. Give us feedback. You can email us all the time at coachmylovetv@gmail.com.
So, Coach My Love, are you talking about the email address or the website? I'm
Well,
confused.
you know what? I am too. You can email us.
CoachMyLoveToday@gmail.com.
Ooh,
CoachMyLoveToday@gmail.com. I get an A+ for paying attention.
Man, you're right, because it's I don't know, man. I need some coffee. So it's CoachMyLoveToday@gmail.com.
Yes.
If you want to follow our channel on YouTube, it's Coach My Love TV.
Yes.
Okay, I got it. And if you want to visit us on our website, it is CoachMyLove.com. Did I get that right?
Awesome. Very good. And we can't forget IG. Follow us on our IG page, Coach My Love.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the IG yet. That's what my wife does. I'm still trying to get that thing under control. But I am your boy. I am Coach Michael, and this is
Shavon Ballard.
Yes, ma'am. And we are relationship coaches. We are coming to you with advice. We have years of experience from being married, from being divorced, from being single, dating, engaged, all of the spectrum. Is that about right?
Yeah.
Did I cover it?
Yeah, you covered it.
Lonely, all that. We've been lonely. We've been all those
More
things.
More than
once, right? We've been busted and disgusted. So we can tell you guys all types of things in regarding to relationships. And we are pretty excited to do it, right?
Yes, very much.
All right, awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited about today's topic.
Oh, man.
I'm so excited about, have you guys seen Nobody's Fool?
Nobody's Fool.
The Tyler Perry movie. It came out, about a year ago with Tiffany Haddish?
I think so, about a year ago.
We just watched it.
You watched it yesterday. Okay, so first of all, spoiler alert. If you have not seen this movie, you may want to pause, go watch the movie, and then come back and talk to us or listen to us, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So we saw the movie, and we wanted to break it down. So, babe, won't you tell them just a brief summary of what the movie is about?
Well, forgive me because I don't remember the characters' names, but it was basically about a very successful Black woman. She's very successful in her corporate career, but she's very unlucky at love. Her sister, Tiffany Haddish, gets out of jail and comes to live with her. So Tiffany Haddish's character, she's off the chain. She's very outspoken, very boisterous, very frisky, if you will. Frisky. But the main character, she's very reserved, very polished, So total polar opposites from each other. So throughout the journey, you get to see all these exes that the sister used to have. And she's currently has this long distance relationship with a man for 1 year that she's never seen, that she's never Skyped with, that she doesn't go on social media with or anything. So he supposedly works at an oil rig somewhere and he does not have good connection. But she's in love with this guy. So Tiffany is trying to bring it to her attention like, you being catfished. This ain't a real relationship. So as they start digging for information, the person that they found behind it really wasn't the guy. The story behind that was his identity was stolen. It was just messy. Fast forward, she's in love with this guy for a year. He ends up not being who she thought he was. So The next day, she decides that there's this coffee shop she frequents, and the guy at the coffee shop knows she's in a relationship, but he doesn't know that they've never met or the details. So because of her 1-year relationship that just failed, she decides, well, why not? Let me go out with this guy from the coffee shop. They hit it off immediately. They just start getting it in, like sexing and everything. They 3 months into the relationship, she's ready to move him into her house. So then there's a surprise where the boyfriend from 1 year she never met actually does exist, and he pops up at her job. So she goes on a date with him, and they try to have sex, and it's like she's just all over the place. And on the back end of the story, there is an ex-fiance she had who broke her heart and left her for someone else, whom of which she kept the wedding gown of for their wedding, and so many other memories and feelings of that. So when you talk about nobody's fool, we're going to break down why she actually was everybody's fool.
Okay, so yeah, it was a lot going on in the movie. So I'm just going to pull out just a couple of points from what you said. So the movie of Nobody's Fool really starts off with this successful black woman who created this list. Okay, and the list is a list of what she wants her dream man to be, right? She has this list, and she somehow got it from her mom, and she thinks that this list is going to bring her the guy of her dream, right? That's kind of loosely based premise of what the movie is. And so she's falling in love with this guy immediately after a breakup from a 6-year relationship. The guy, she went and bought this dress. The guy leaves her on the altar, so she's devastated. So in order to cope, she falls in love with this dream guy who fits everything on her list, but he's on the internet. She's never physically met him, right? So let's stop right there. Now, let me address the movie. I don't want to address the movie because I don't want this to be about breaking down the movie. I want to break down situations in the movie of what happened, because a lot of those things can apply to anybody, right? Number one on the list. Do you guys think, and this is just a general question, having a list is a bad or good idea? So since you can't answer it, I'll ask Shavon, do you think having a list when it comes to a relationship is a bad or good idea?
I'll say this. I think having requirements and a standard is important, but having a list, especially an unrealistic, unattainable list, is outrageous. And it's hard to try to find that perfect match, especially on a, we'll say, first interaction. A lot of times we meet people, they're not where they are, where you want to meet them, until you get your rhythm within a relationship and you learn from each other, and then those attributes can be developed. However, I see a lot of women saying, I don't date guys under 6'3". You need to make 6 figures. You need to drive this type of car. You need to live in this type of neighborhood. No kids, no baby mamas, no exes, no experience. It's like, but what do you bring to the table? So I do think we have to have requirements. We have to set demands and standards. However, the list can be very dangerous.
Okay, well, yeah, it could be dangerous. I see it both ways, right? I think you should have a set of requirements that you stand by, and I totally agree. If you're going to have this long list of requirements, I think you need to meet those requirements yourself. You can't say you want a successful man if you haven't had a job in 3 months. Mm-hmm. You can't say you don't want a man with kids and you got 5 kids and 5 baby mamas. You can't say I want a man with a great body, 6'2", and you 300 pounds overweight, because you don't want to work out, you don't want to take care of yourself, and you don't want to do anything with yourself. So you got to meet the requirements of the list before you have a list. And having a list is great. It gives you a list of standard. But the problem that happened with this movie is she had this list, right? And she ended up finding a guy who didn't have a lot of those things on that list, right? And eventually she ends up going with the guy who, and then throughout the movie, she kept saying she doesn't like the guy. She's not attracted to the guy. Right. She's not feeling the guy. But because the relationship didn't work out with the dream guy who was on the list, she threw the list away and she settled for second best, right? Yeah. And so that's what I want to kind of talk to you about. Now, the movie has a lot of layers and a lot of different things in that actual movie that we can talk about, and we can break it down. I can probably do 4 weeks alone on this movie by itself, because there's so much going on into it. But having a list and understanding that you have to have requirements, but you need to bring some things into that list yourself. Number one. Number two, Don't be so stuck on the list that you don't have any room for anybody else. So you got a list of 10 things and this person may have 7. Okay, that may not be so bad, right? So I think you want to have a list, but you want to have your main things that are what we call deal breakers. Like, hey, this person needs to know how to read. If you find somebody that don't know how to read, that should be a deal breaker, right? So you want to have some things in the list that are your standards, right? But you also want to have some things in the list that you want to maybe one day subscribe to. What do you think about that?
I agree. You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
So that's one thing with the movie. Also, another thing with the movie is the reason that it's upset. She went from a long-term relationship into another relationship. A lot of people do that, okay? A lot of people don't give themselves time to heal before they jump into another relationship. Do you agree?
I do agree.
And it's very dangerous because what we call is brokenness, and you end up getting into a person in this what we call the euphoric stage in a relationship, and you meet someone, and obviously that person is going to look better than the situation that you came out of, right? And you want something to stop the pain. You want something to make you feel better. You want something that's going to soothe that hurt. So you normally jump into another relationship, and this person may seem like the dream, but really they're just filling holes in your heart that you had because of what you were dealing with in the previous situation. Would you agree?
I do agree. And I just want to add on to how it relates to the movie. Once her dream guy of 1 year, whom she never met, never even seen a picture of, it was a virtual relationship. When he went MIA on her and she found out that he was a fraud, she started dating this guy from the coffee shop and things like took off. They immediately started having sex. Within 3 months, she was ready to move him into her house. The entire duration of their relationship, she's talking to her girlfriend on the side like, man, I don't even like him. He's not even my type. Like, but you know, his penis is large. It's like, is that the standard these days for relationships? Like, as long as you're well endowed, like that's good enough for me. So when it was fast forwarding, they did a whole series of showing them on different dates, and they really made it look so romantic. But the whole time, even he was telling her, I know you don't really like me. I know you're not really into me, but we'll just see where it goes. See where it goes. See, that's where like a lot of situations happen when babies are born and then the baby mamas, baby dads don't like each other because it's supposed to be just for fun. So fast forward to 3 months later, she tells him, you know, maybe you should start bringing some things over, you know, maybe sleep over more and move in. The very next day, no, the very same day, her dream guy actually shows up at her job and she realizes that he was real all along. So as soon as she sees him, she's like, all those feelings came back. So later that evening, she went home and was basically giving her boyfriend the cold shoulder. He's trying to move on her. She's pushing him off, and he knew what was up. He had a feeling. So he left. The next day, she's on a date with her dream guy again, and they paint him in the most obnoxious light, and they tried to have sex. And I'm like, wasn't she just laid up with her boo thing the other night, and now she's having sex with this guy? And then that didn't work out, so she went back home trying to get the original boyfriend back. And it was so much back and forth and so much bodily fluids. I felt like I needed an STD test. It was so much. And it's like, they made a statement, her and her friend, saying, I don't see what the problem is. Men do it all the time. But does that make it right? What do you think?
Well, I think we start generalizing people, and we, you know, instead of holding up to our own responsibilities and taking self-analysis, we put it off on other people and say, well, because they're doing it, I should be able to do it, right? Well, somebody was a serial killer. Does that mean you go out and be a serial killer? Somebody likes children. Does that, you know, you can't use that. That's a cop-out, right? That's a cop-out. And you're right. I think really, in essence, having a list is a great thing, but you definitely want to make sure that you don't be so rigid to the list that you miss out on good people, all right? But you always want to stick to your guns. You always want to have some deal breakers. You know, I'll say 3 or 4 things that you just can't deal without. You know, if he kicking cats and you know he has 8 baby mamas, I mean, those are some really good standards to really go by. But remember, you also have to bring something to the table before you create this list, right? True. And you want to give yourself time to heal before you jump into relationships. I think one of the big mistakes that this woman made in the movie, and she made a lot of them, but one of the biggest mistakes was she never gave herself time to grieve the first breakup. She went and jumped into a second situation, and then she jumped into a third situation. So it seems like this woman has a pattern that when things doesn't work out, instead of healing, instead of breaking down what's wrong, what went wrong, what did I do to play in this part, she kept jumping into wrong relationships. And you know what? If you don't know what you're doing, you won't know when to stop. If you don't know what the purpose of a relationship is, if you don't know what's going on inside, you're not going to stop making the wrong mistakes over and over and over again. Right?
That's true.
And I think that's
and I also was going to throw in the common theme when it came to her attitude about everything, because every time she thought she was in love with this guy or maybe wanted this one back, her cop-out was always, I'm just so confused. I don't know what to do. When you got a body count and all them like soul ties going on at the same time and all those emotional ties with all these multiple people, you're going to be confused.
Yeah.
I don't care how great of a career that you have or how many degrees you have. When you're dealing with people, that's different than dealing with work and paperwork and a job. You're dealing with souls and bodily fluids, like chemical connections. Like it will confuse you. Take a moment to slow down and reevaluate. She was 90 days in to this relationship, ready to move him in. When you work a job, they'll put you on probation for 90 days sometimes before they even give you benefits for a job. You're talking about making entire life changes for someone that you basically, I don't want to say just met because she sees him at the coffee shop every day, but she didn't even know. He ended up being a felon. He had a police record, and as she was finding things out about him, she started to cringe a little more and dislike him a little more, but it never stopped the sex. Because on the back end, her friends were telling her the quickest way to get over a man is to get under another one. That's a lie.
Right. So like I said, this movie, there's a lot of different points and stories and things that we can break down for like 4 weeks of material. Yeah. And we may revisit this again if you guys are feeling it. Please, as we wrap up, I just want to come to the conclusion. One, if you want to have a list in a relationship, bring something to the table that matches that list, right? Two, don't be so stuck on the list that everybody has to meet everything. Now, I don't think anybody really is going to meet everything on the list, but you do want to have a couple of points on there and a couple of deal breakers that, you know what, don't waver from, right? Number three, before you jump into new relationships, take time to heal from the brokenness. Get counseling. Seek help. Go to CoachMyLove.com. That's us. We can help you with sorting out some of the things that you've been through so that you don't keep making the same mistakes over. And that's one of our specialties is we want to help prevent a broken heart. And you prevent a broken heart by understanding what went wrong in the last situations, right? Nobody wants to be hurt. Nobody wants their feelings hurt. Nobody wants their lives destroyed. Nobody want to waste time in relationships. Nobody want to waste money. Children come from this. You really need to slow down, assess those situations, find out who you are, where you're going, what went wrong, and then let's put together some plans and solutions to help you make better choices in the future, right? And that's what we hear about. That's what the podcast is about, the social media, everything that we're doing with Coach My Love is about helping people make better decisions. Because I'm gonna tell you something, relationships are one of the hardest things to be involved with. It's hard because you're dealing with another human being who have their own religious backgrounds, their upbringing, the way they see life. It's all different. And you're trying to bring those two people together to live for the rest of your life. And you keep changing. You're not the same person you are today that you was last year. Probably last night from some of you, depending on what you drank or smoked. You probably don't remember last night. So trying to get those two people to merge and to live on a rhythm is one of the hardest things that you could ever do. And that's in a healthy situation. So add dysfunction, add abuse, add misinformation to that. And it's difficult, right? But that's why divorce rates are up 50%. That's why out of the other 50%, 25% report being happy. It's real out here, right? It's real. Social media, social impact, television media. So take some time, get an understanding about what relationships, why you're in it, what kind of person you are, what kind of person you want. And that's what we are here to help you guys do. So we're going to keep on breaking down movies and situations. We're going to take you guys on this journey into being a couple. Because trust me, we don't always get it right. Even with all the training and the knowledge and spiritual guidance and our spirituality, we don't get it right, man, because we're constantly changing. We're moody. We're emotional. We're big balls of confusion trying to grow together, right? So, again, the name of the movie is Nobody's Fool, starring Tiffany Haddish. And you know, that's sad because there's some more people in there that I don't quite know their names. But it's an interesting movie, all right? It's definitely one that you can watch and you can see some of the things that we saw. And we hope you guys enjoy it. We hope you guys enjoy this podcast. So in closing, final words, babe?
I was going to say something else, but we can close out. We want to let you guys know to always remember to never apply good information to a bad situation.
That's true. That's true. Anything that we're giving you, any information that we're giving you, you got to make sure everybody's on a healthy spot before you comply. So that's very good advice. And also remember to like, share our videos, tell your friends, tell your families, join our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, share our podcast, share our replays on L.O.V.E. And if you got to email us, please email us at coachmylovetoday@gmail.com. Email us questions, situations, things that you think we should watch and so we can break down, we can talk about. You can also please visit us online at coachmylove.com. We have some free questionnaires that can help us get a better sense of where you are in your relationship. We'll fill that out, send it to us, we'll analyze it, and we'll be able to sit down for a free 10-minute consultation to let you guys know we can help in some directions that we think you guys can go on.
That's right.
All right. So again, I am Coach Michael, your relationship coach, and
Shavon Ballard.
And we are certified relationship coaches. I got to put that certified in there.
That's important.
That is important.
We put studies into this. We didn't just make this up. We're certified.
Come on, we had to take a lot of classes.
We have credentials.
We do have credentials.
And experience.
And some real credentials. It took me some time to get to this thing. All right, we love you guys. We appreciate you guys. Again, remember, we're trying to help you guys to avoid a broken heart. All right? Peace.